Okay, let's get into this. We're looking at a dossier today that feels heavy, and not just because of the page count. We're doing a deep dive into the Oklahoma City bombing.
It is heavy. In the source material we have, it covers the entire OKB-MB investigation.
Right. But our mission here isn't just to retell the story. We're trying to really understand how a perfect soldier turns against the country he served.
That's the core question, isn't it? How does that happen? Because Timothy McVeigh is a complete contradiction.
He really is, not some fringe figure from the start. This was a decorated Gulf War vet.
A model soldier.
Yeah.
Gunner on a Bradley fighting vehicle, won the Bronze Star. The sources all emphasize this. He loved the Army. He craved the structure, the order.
So what was the turning point? You don't just flip a switch from decorated soldier to domestic terrorist.
It seems to be the post-war reality. He comes back from the Gulf, and that structure he loved is just gone. He tries out for the Green Berets, the Special Forces.
And he washes out.
He washes out physically, and it just crushes his entire identity. But the seeds were already there. He'd started seeing the UF not as a protector, but as a global bully.
And he goes looking for things to confirm that new worldview.
Exactly. And he finds them on his TV screen. The dossier points to two huge catalysts, Ruby Ridge in 92, and then the big one, April 19th, 1993.
The end of the Waco siege, he watched it burn.
He did. And where most people saw a tragic law enforcement standoff, McVeigh saw the federal government murdering its own citizens.
And that date, April 19th, becomes symbolic for him.
It becomes everything. It's why he picked that exact date 2 years later. But this wasn't just raw anger. He had an instruction manual.
The Turner Diaries. I've heard of it, of course, but I didn't realize how literal he was about it.
It's chillingly literal.
Yeah.
He used it as a blueprint. The book describes using a truck bomb made from ammonium nitrate to blow up a federal building.
Yeah.
He didn't just get the idea from it. He got the method.
Let's talk about that method. The dossier calls it the mechanics of destruction. It wasn't just fertilizer, was it?
No. And that's a key detail. He had about 4,000 pounds of ammonium nitrate. But by itself, that's a relatively slow explosive. He needed to increase the brisance.
Brisance. That's the shattering power, right? The speed of the shock wave.
Precisely. To get that devastating shatter, he mixed in nitromethane.
High-octane racing fuel.
Right. That plus some blasting caps, and he essentially built what the sources call a poor man's nuke.
And he parked this thing right underneath the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building. This is the hardest part of the file to read. He knew about the daycare on the second floor.
He knew. He'd scouted the location. And this is where you really see the complete dehumanization. Yeah. He was asked later about the 19 children who were killed.
And what did he say?
He called them collateral damage, a military term. They weren't children to him anymore. They were just part of the system he was attacking.
So the bomb goes off. The scene is absolute chaos. How does the FBI even begin to find one person in all of that wreckage?
It was a 1 in a million find. A golden thread, as they called it. In the middle of all that twisted steel and concrete, an agent finds the rear axle of the Ryder truck.
And the vehicle identification number was still on it.
It was still legible. That VIN was everything. It led them to the rental agency, which led them to a sketch of the renter, and then to the Dreamland Motel. Just pure, fast police work.
But here's the ultimate irony. While this massive nationwide manhunt is spinning up,
McVeigh's already in jail.
It's unbelievable.
It really is. About 90 minutes after the blast, he's driving north on the highway, and State Trooper Charlie Hanger pulls him over.
Not for the bombing, though.
No, because his getaway car didn't have a license plate.
You're kidding. He plans this intricate bomb, the timing, the target, and he forgets a license plate.
The meticulous soldier was a sloppy fugitive. Hanger saw a concealed weapon, arrested him, and for 2 days, McVeigh just sat in a county jail watching the news coverage of the manhunt for him.
Terrifying how close he came to just driving away. When you look at the aftermath, the dossier mentions the architecture of fear.
You see it now at every federal building. Those huge concrete bollards, the deep setbacks, that all started after Oklahoma City. And, of course, the memorial.
The 168 empty chairs.
With 19 smaller ones for the children. It's a powerful place.
It is. The dossier ends on a note that it really stays with you. It says, McVeigh lived in a feedback loop of his own anger until he just lost touch with humanity.
And that's the warning, isn't it? McVeigh had to seek out his echo chamber at gun shows and meetings. Today, that feedback loop is in everyone's pocket.
The barrier to that kind of radicalization has never been lower. It makes you wonder, are we listening closely enough to hear the next fuse being lit? That's it for this depth dive.
Stay safe out there.